Hey everybody, it's Alex here. I guess that might be um I'm here to tell you about how I told my parents I was pregnant. Well, I really didn't tell them. My mom took me to go get a blood test or whatever from the doctor, and I really didn't want to because she wasn't checking me for that. She was checking me for the disease, but I guess she told the nurse. But yeah. So I kind of was mad at her for that, but I really didn't care. Because as long as I found out there, I found out I was pregnant when I was 13 weeks, June 6th. So 13 and a half weeks. And I don't know, like when I found out I was pregnant, I kind of like cried, but then I got over it really quick. And then like I was like nervous to tell Mikael, which is my boyfriend. But yeah, and he took it in very well. Like he came over that night, and I was like, how I told you I went to the doctor, and then he was like, yeah. Well, I told him the results, and then he just stood quiet for a couple of minutes, and he took it in, and then he got all happy, asking, what are we gonna name the baby? It's a boy, what is this? This name sounds good. It's a girl, this name sounds good. And my mom, which was there at the doctor's appointment with me, because they called us in the 2 days after we went to take the blood test. And they told, she kind of got happy, but then she was sad that I was crying because, like, as if I didn't want the baby, but I really did. I was just scared of what everybody thinks, because I'd been judged ever since I was little, and I always believed it was true. But yeah, and then my mom told my dad, because I was too scared. Like, I've always been daddy's girl. So my mom told him, and the way he took it in, like, he didn't talk to me for a couple weeks. So that kind of, like, really disappointed me. It made me sad. But then after that, he broke out of it, and he, like, started buying the baby stuff, like little ornaments, this and that, which was awesome. I'm glad he took it well because I love my dad and my mom. But yeah, now I'm 38 weeks and a couple days, and I went into early labor, which is where it's just contractions, the day before yesterday, and yeah. And then it came down to telling his parents. I don't think we told his mom and dad until like 23 weeks. It wasn't me, it was him. And he'll deny it wasn't him. But it was. And I kept telling him to tell his mom, like, cuz you know how moms take it in, some moms anyways, take it in very easily. Well, I told him to tell his mom, and his mom will help tell his dad. But no, and then one day we were moving from his other apartment to his new apartment. I wasn't doing any of the work because he obviously knew I was pregnant, and I couldn't do any of the heavy stuff. Well, I was already getting big. Like, I looked like I was fat, not really fat, but I was pregnant. Just a little bit, getting chubby and chubbier. And then I started getting it on my cheeks. And then his mom started noticing him, like, she asked his brother when I was asleep, but I could hear because I'm a light sleeper. And he goes, is Alex pregnant? And then they're like, I don't know, because I didn't tell Gershom, but I told his girlfriend Christian, because she's my friend. She's the reason why we met. I met Mikael, and then yeah, well, she kind of figured it out herself, but she wasn't sure. And that day that we went to the other apartment, we were all finished with everything. Well, they were anyways. And then his dad goes to Mikael, and he goes, because his dad doesn't call me Alex or Alexandria, he calls me Allie. And he's like, is Allie pregnant? He went up to Mikael and said that. And Mikael was like, let's just get this over. And he said yes. And then, so later on that day, we had some lady asked us for a ride. So we went and dropped her off, right? We went and did that. And then he texted his mom saying, come home now. And we're like, okay. We thought it was weird. And we got home and everything, and everybody just gathered in the living room, and it made me nervous because I didn't know what the heck was going on. It would have been good if we had a clarification from Mikael, and I'm like, holy shit, I get myself ready for this. But no. And then everybody was sitting down looking at me, and nobody in the house knew I was pregnant, except his older brother Gershom started knowing, like, figure out himself, but I denied it to him, so he wouldn't start anything with Mikael. And I was like getting that awkward feeling, so I was trying to go up the stairs, and when I was on the second step, so I said I'm gonna go get my chapstick, but I really wasn't. I just felt awkward. He was like, Allie, come here. And I was like, oh my god, my heart just dropped to my stomach. I was scared. And he was like, so I did. So I stood up to him, straight in his face, looked at him. His dad's tall and he's loud. And I looked up, and he's like, looked him straight in the eye. He's like, are you pregnant, Allie? And I was like, my lips were shaking and everything. I remember the feeling. And I'm like, yeah. Well, I didn't say yes. I just bit my lip and looked at him. And he goes, really? And he looked around at everybody. And I was like, yeah. And then he was like, okay, sit down. And then so I did. And he's like, Mikael, get over here and sit right next to her. You need to sit right here because she's going through a hard, difficult time right now. And he just gave us a talk. Is it really his? I'm like, yes, because I've been with him every day of the summer. Never left his side once. And then we just went through like kind of a lecture. His dad gave me $200 straight out the pocket, and he said, it's for the baby. I didn't want to take it at first, and everybody was like, take it. I'm like, no, I don't like taking money from people. I've always been that shy person. And then, yeah, we took the money, and from there on, they just started, treating me, giving me my cravings, which I didn't crave fat food. I craved like fruit. I always have. And then I already had a sonogram by then, and so I showed it to them. She was skinny, kind of, like how they like look all bony. I did that. And then after that, I started having more and more. And he went to every doctor's appointment with me, so he knew what was going on at the time. And I was nervous because, I'm pregnant. What am I going to go through? And that was it. So it was easy for us, and now I'm just waiting any day to pop. I'm not really that big, but oh well. Going through acne and all that, the final stages. But we're just waiting. Everything is going fine now. But yeah, and I might do a hospital bag and yeah, for the baby and me, but I'm not sure about that yet. Anyways, but that's my story, and I'll do videos when the baby's here and that, but